Hey, this has been with Pro Sound TV. We're coming at you live at NAMM Show 2010. I'm here with Alcatraz guitarist Howie Simon. So we reported kind of how you use some of our pedals. And you use the RC booster a little bit differently, you know, playing out live. And just update everybody on what you're doing with that.
Well, I'm still doing the same thing. Basically, with travel restrictions and the price of travel and carrying amps and things like that overseas, I can't. It's getting impossible. It's even impossible to carry a guitar on the plane these days without an argument. But what I do is I take my pod along with me, so I have all my sounds in the pedal, you know, and the foot controller for it. And I have all my sounds already preset in there, and I plug it into the effects loop of whatever amp is provided by the promoters or wherever we play. So sometimes the pod, because it's the older pod, it's the 2.0, the output just doesn't hit the power amp of the amps that they supply for me as hard as I would like it to. So what I do is I use the RC boost and have that between the pod and the amp. So that way the signal from the pod is still clean hitting the amp, but it's got a little, holy cow. Turn the camera at that. I can't do an interview when I'm looking at stuff.
Technical difficulties. So we plug the RC in.
Plug the RC between the pod and the amp, and so it hits the amp harder. And it also, the pod was always lacking a little bit of low end sometimes. So with that, I'm able to dial up the low end nicely and not have it color or hurt my sound in any way.
Well, I don't care what anybody says. You know, when we first got together, and I learned that you use the pod live, and I heard some live recordings. I'm like, you know, wow. I mean, that's a good tone, you know, no matter how you look at it.
I get laughed at sometimes before people hear it, like, God, you're going to use that junky old thing, and then, you know, by the end of the gig, they're like, I can't believe you used that junky old thing.
Well, I think you know Demir at Bogner Amplifiers.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
You know, he came out with a new CD, and I sent him an email. I said, hey, you know, what did you use as far as amps, effects, and guitars? And he says, look, I didn't use any amps on this recording. You can't tell the difference. And I think eventually it's going to be good enough one day where.
How was his tone on the CD? Is it good?
I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
I haven't heard it yet.
So I think eventually we'll get to the point where, you know, who knows, it may just replace amplifiers in live situations. So we'll see, you know.
Well, it depends. I've seen bands that do all pod and no cabinets at all, and then electronic drums. And
well, we saw you live last year, down at the
2 years ago,
the vendor place there, and you were running the same setup. I couldn't tell the difference, and it was pretty rocking. So that was cool.
But I'm still, in the case of what I'm doing, I'm still moving air. I'm still playing through an actual amp, and you're feeling it, and there is an amp involved, and there are tubes involved to warm it up. Whereas when you're re-recording with something, that's a little bit different. That's still a strange thing for me. But, you know, with technology the way it is, you can't tell. You really can't tell the difference.
Well, definitely just keep us up to date on what's going on. So, you know, if you guys do start touring a little bit in the States,
we're working on the record. We're
a
little slow and lazy on working on the record, but we really are going to have it done this year and out, and then hopefully more playing as well.
Good. Well, we're all very excited about that. And yeah, you guys didn't hear Howie play here, but he's not bad. Let me tell you that much. So
you can YouTube me.
We will do that. Hey, again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming out, man, and appreciate all the support that you give us. And don't grab my ass. Actually, put that on there. Hey, this has been with Pro Sound TV. See you soon.